Hello and welcome to this tutorial on Fusion 360. This is the third tutorial in the Fusion 360 series. In this tutorial we're going to look at the loft tool, which is down here in the drop down, and the loft tool is one where we can connect sketches to each other as long as they're closed boundaries, and they can be any shape you want. So to do this we're going to have a go at drawing something that looks a little bit like this iron on the screen in front of you. It's slightly less predictable tool to use, certainly less predictable than the revolve and the extrude tools that we've already looked at. And it's a bit more iterative, so we'll try something, see what it looks like, and we'll have a look at how you can edit the dimensions and shape to create different forms. So first thing we're going to do is start a new design, save, and give the file a name. 5. Start a new sketch on the bottom plane. And what I'm going to do is draw a line up the center, 230 millimeters long, and that'll be my mirror line. So I'll draw half of the bottom steel plate, and then I'll mirror it to the side. 70 out, and then use the fit point spline to create my curvy archy shape. And that's not quite right, so I'm just going to move it so it should be a bit straighter there. That's a bit more like it. And not finished sketch. That line there should be construction line. And then I'll go to the mirror tool here. So select the mirror line, select the line to be mirrored, select the mirror line. And then we don't have a closed boundary at the minute, so it's not shaded, so we just need to close it off at the bottom. Now we've got it shaded blue, so it shows me that it's closed. Finish sketch, to home view. And that's the bottom of our iron. So what we want to do now is create another sketch here and another sketch here, and then connect them to each other with the loft. But before we do that, we need to create a new work plane. So normally we'd use the offset plane, drag it, sketch on there, and then connect them to each other, but that wouldn't work for the iron that we're trying to draw. So we're going to use this plane along a path. So before we do that, we need to create the path that we want the planes to run along. So start 2D sketch, and we're going to sketch on this plane here, so we're looking at it from the side. And I'm going to create another spline, something like that. And this will be the path that I can run these new work planes along. So construct, plane along the path, select the path, and this is where my new planes can be placed now. So first plane's going to be right at the end. So I've moved it all the way to the end, and this kind of goes further than the bottom of the steel plate. Start my sketch, I'll sketch on here. I don't like this view, so I'm going to flatten it off, rotate it around, and now I'm looking at the rear of what will be the iron. So I'm going to draw a straight line across the bottom, and it's going to be 70 degrees long. Use my fit point spline to create the shape I want for the back of my iron. And like I did with the steel plate, I'm going to mirror it. So I'll put a line in there, change it to a construction line. Pull it in there a little bit. That's a bit better. Okay, and then mirror. Select the object or the line, and mirror that one as well. Select the mirror line. There we go. Click OK. It's closed boundary, so it's shaded blue. I'm going to use the fillet tool just to fillet this bottom corner now. I'm going to fillet it at 10 millimeters. Oh, something's not quite right there. So let's go backwards in time and see what we've done wrong. Seems right. Mirror, line, line. Make that one a construction line. Try again. 10. Yeah. 10. Finish sketch. Home view. So now we've got two planes and we could connect them to each other now and see how that goes. But I think we'll create another sketch on a new plane on this path. And the plane is going to be about there. I'll say about there, there's nothing exact here, we'll see what it looks like. Create a new sketch on this plane, and then adjust my view again, so I'm looking at the iron from the back. So this time I want to include the handle, and it's going to kind of line up with here, so let's see what it looks like if we do it like this. 70, it's fine. So it's going to come in here and then go up to create a bit of a sort of ergonomic handle. It's not quite where I want it, so I'm just going to play around with this a little bit. We'll work with that. Okay, put a center line in, make it a construction line, and mirror that using that. Close it off at the bottom, shaded it, so we're doing well. I'm going to use the fillet tool again, I think. 10mm again, I think. Finish sketch, home view. So now we can connect that sketch to this sketch. I forgot to turn that line off there, but we can work with that, it's fine. But what I'm going to do, I'll show you how it looks if we do this. So we can connect this to that, to that. It's created this form for us. It's coming a bit high here, and it doesn't come all the way out here like I'd want it to. So what we're going to do is create a rail, and the rail would be a guide that the loft will go along, and the rail has to touch each of the sketches. So it has to touch the line of the outside of the sketch. So that's what we're going to do now. So we cancel that. I'm going to turn off sketch 2, that one there, because it's just going to confuse me a little bit. Create a new sketch. We're looking at it from the side now. So I'm going to go create, project include, and use this project tool here. It's got the P there, so it's basically telling me if I pressed a P on the keyboard, it's a shorthand for it. And I'm going to project that point, and that point. So they become nodes on my sketch now, so I can attach using the fit points line to each of those sketches. So like I was just saying before, I can now change the shape of this a little bit. See what I might want it to be. I think what I'm going to do is redraw that line. I'm going to click there, click twice here. So I've got a few more nodes to manipulate this sketch. Let's put it down. I don't know what this is going to look like, so we'll try that. Okay, so let's go for the loft again. So loft this sketch. That's selected that point there, so I'm just going to cancel that. Start again. Loft, there, to there, to there. Now I'm going to use my rail. And there we go, it's changed that shape. So we're kind of missing a bit at the bottom here. So we could adjust the, well, let's have a look. We can adjust a few things here. So we can adjust that sketch that we were just using there, sketch 5, because that's the rail. This is a bit out there, but that's not worked. So let's just try that again, but be less aggressive with the edit. There you go. So we can move these points around a bit. Cancel that. Bring us over the front. That's not worked. So it's shaded in yellow here, so there's obviously a problem with that loft. It doesn't quite like it. There we go. So it's worked that time. So we can manipulate that a little bit, but it tells us In our timeline at the bottom, it will shade it in red or yellow to tell us if there's been a problem, and we'll have a pop-up window down here to tell us that something's not worked. Let's see if we can fix this section here where we've got a bit of a hole. So if I go to my work plane, I should be able to just drag it along a little bit and see if that changes anything. There we go. So we don't have a hole at the bottom now. Not sure about this shape under here, but we can play around with those sketches if we want to. But we're going to work with this for now. And it's pinching in at the top here a little bit, which is what we want to make a little bit more an ergonomic handle. But we need a hole in the center here to create the handle. So we're going to use the extrude tool for that. I'm going to create a new plane. I'm going to offset it from this one. I'm going to bring it out to the side. It doesn't really matter where it lands as long as it's outside of the body. Select that. Okay. Now I'm going to use my fit point spline to kind of work out where I want this handle to go. So, kind of works. Let's just adjust that a little bit. So, finish sketch. And all we're going to do now is use the extrude tool to cut through the body. Like that. Okay. It's starting to look a bit like the iron that we had before. Certainly a bit longer at the back. But I guess I could just pull that in a bit, see if that makes it look a bit better. No, I don't like that. Okay, so I'm going to use the fillet tool now to round over this. And it gives us a bit of a preview. It's telling me I can't do that. 20 mils too much. 10 mil works. I've got 15. Too much. 12. Yeah, so 10 or 11. Let's go for 11. Flip it over to the side. So there we go. We're starting to get a bit of an ergonomic iron in play here. So to create one that looks a bit more like this, we're going to use this tool here, so the split body tool, to break that body down into several pieces. So I'm going to create a new sketch. It's going to be on, let's go to the main view, that work plane that I created before, so it's plane 3. It's not visible at the minute, there we go. And what I can do is just literally draw a line, and that'll become a path that I can use to split the body into several pieces. So use the fit point spline again. Finish sketch. And then split body. So I select the body to split, and then I select the line as my splitting tool. Select OK. And what we've got now in our bodies are 2 separate bodies. So I'm going to create another one of those on plane 3. And this time, like this one, it's going to do the bottom bit. And the reason I did this was so then I can break the body down into different parts, which means when I come to render it, I can select the different bodies and apply different colors and textures to it. So, split body, this body, splitting tool, this line, okay. We're starting to get there now, we're starting to look like. On this one, I put an actual separate extrusion on the bottom, so we'll do that just as a quick one now. So all I've done there is select the bottom to sketch onto. We're going to use this project tool again now. So project include. I'm going to select this whole bottom surface. Click OK. And then I'm going to go to the offset, and I should be able to select that now. That's it. If I go -4, it brings it in. If I go +4, it takes it to the outside. So I want -4. So we've got a 4mm inset there. Click OK. Finish sketch. Now I can extrude 2 millimeters. Let's go in the right direction. Let's go a little bit further. 3, there we go. Then create another sketch to here. And I'm going to use that project include tool again, but I'm going to press P on my keyboard this time because it's quicker. I'm going to set the individual lines. Okay, so it's projected those lines onto that sketch. As you can see, they're purple, but they're there on that sketch plane. So I should be able to extrude them. So finish sketch. So I'm going to select that and that. And I'm going to make it 3mm. This time, the operation will be new body. So then, if I go here, body 4 is that steel plate on the bottom now. I'm going to use the fillet tool, and this was 3mm thick, so 1.5, we'll round it over. And then I could do the same on the other side. You'll get what I mean with that. So the last thing to do now with this is to go into the render mode. I'll change the colour of the background because I just don't like this grey at all. Okay. And I'm going to my render library, Fusion Appearances, and we're going to choose some colours for this. So plastic. Let's try that one. That one. And that one. And up here we've got it to select bodies, and we've broken this down into several different bodies now, so we can play around with this and see how it looks. So that one's there. It's there. Got a lighter at the top. I don't like that. Let's just put that on. Whoopsie daisy. Anyway, you get the point. You can play around with this as much as you want until you got a colour scheme that you want. And then we can apply steel to the bottom plate as well. I'll go under metals. I'll go to stainless. Polished. There we go. And there we have it. A new iron design. We did that really simply. It wasn't really simple, but you get the point. Using the loft tool and then the plane along a path tool. Thank you for watching. I hope you find that useful. Have a play. Goodbye.